Okay, this is a game called Seers. I have absolutely no clue what it is, but I like the setting. It's I don't know what it is, but it's kind of like a Viking setting, and I kind of like that setting, so whatever. Here we go. Seers Isle is an interactive novel. During your adventure, you'll be asked to make choices that define how your story progresses. One of your decisions influences the protagonist. When one of your the relationship between protagonists and other characters, one or two symbols light up at the top of the screen. The eye, hand, the man, the deer. In Seers Isles, your progress is saved automatically. You won't be able to change the decisions you make. However, the sum of your choices lead to different scenarios. It's impossible to lose in Seers Isles. Choose wisely. Well, say impossible, I don't know. I was the wind. Time no longer existed. Disembodied solitude was my punishment. This was what this I saw the heathland coat itself in purple flowers. Grass yellow Elitha. Leaves of 100-year oaks reddening and falling to cover the mossy undergrowth was orange-brown. The first snows of you. Not a living soul. I forgot who I was. Then they arrived. Here one. Cliffs. That's a nice name. We're nearing a beach. Do you see it? There's an undercurrent. When you put in the head on, we won't have time to maneuver to avoid the reefs. I see it, but if we keep the sail full with the sea breeze, we should be fine, right? We're losing speed. If we don't do something, we'll drift towards the cliff before we reach the shore. Listen, I don't want to be a killjoy, but have you seen those big black clouds? Connor looks towards the island's obvious concern. The rain begins to fall. This storm doesn't feel natural. They turn to look at Arlen. You're the sailor, what do we do? Well, I'm not sure. Whatever we do, risk foundering on a reef or getting swept out to sea. If there's a collision, I'm not sure the boat can take it. It would be disastrous. Rain pours down and thunder rumbles. Arlen's the sailor, right? So let's listen to Arlen. They force passage. Connor is sitting at the bottom of the boat, clinging to the rail. The sea becomes more and more troubled. Hold on tight. The boat continues its course, coming dangerously close to the reefs which break through the surface. The beach seems to rush towards them. A crash resounds at the port side. We're hit! Get the oars out. We're going to force passage. Everyone obeys and they redouble their efforts to fight against the current, somehow trying to avoid the reefs. Water seeps into the hull, filling it with water. Maneuvering becomes more and more difficult. The group, absorbing their efforts, doesn't see the groundswell which buffets the skiff and carries it towards the beach. Without hesitation, Eric leaps into the water and pulls the boat up before getting caught in the backwash. Connor sees something out of the corner of his eyes. Brennan is overboard! Far away, a silhouette is struggling against the current. Duncan is ready to jump in the lake, but Arlen can still take the lead. Arlen's the sailor! Have her jump in. Arlen strips off everything that can slow her down and throws herself into the water. In the wind and rain, two silhouettes can barely be seen in the turmoil. Jennifer says, "It's Brandon! He must have fallen overboard when we hit the reefs." Several times the swimmer disappears behind a wave, and Duncan has time to wonder if she has drowned before she appears. Finally, Arlen reaches Brandon and turns to make her way towards the shore. As soon as she closes up the beach, Duncan and Eric run to help her carry Brandon out of the water. That Brandon? The two men carry him up higher up the beach, out of reach of the waves, and lay him gently on the sand. Brandon, is unconscious. Jennifer kneels by the carpenter's head, concerned. He's unconscious, but he's breathing. She rummages in her bag and pulls out a small brown glass vial. Lifting his head with one hand, she waves the vial under his nostrils with the other. Brendan's eyes snap open and he splutters and chokes. Jennifer helps him over, and he's on all fours as he vomits up the quantity of salt water. She turns to the group. His life isn't in danger. However, his leg is wounded. I'll have to bandage it straight away. Is she the medic? His breeches are torn and he has an ugly gash across his right shin. Guess she's the warrior. She looks like a warrior. We should make fire to warm him up. Good idea. Besides, Arlen is soaked to the skin. Oh, I'm used to it. I'll go and collect some wood. I don't plan to stay in these wet clothes. Yes, that's the best way to catch a fever. I'll see if we can find a way inland. He's a warrior too. Oh my god, he looks awesome. Look at those tattoos. Well, it might be body paint. The driving rain has lightened into a fine drizzle. The Seers have willed the storm for their arrival. Each is littered with wrecks, old and less old, and is surrounded by a high, pale stone cliff. I guess that's the name of the title, the cliff. We have to climb the cliff. Rhea gets up to catch Eric, while Arlen prepares to go seeking wood for the fire. Rhea, I guess? She's a warrior. She's more fun than a sailor, I guess. Eric moves away. Rhea calls to him. Wait, I'm coming with you. She runs out a few strides to catch up with him. Eric watches her with scorn. I warned you. I don't intend to wait for you. In my clan, women have better things to do than bothering with the hunters. Bitch, I'm gonna answer. In my clan, the men and women hunt together, even if the men are slower. Eric grits his teeth, puts on menacing hands on his sword. Listen, we don't have to like each other, but wouldn't it be better if we put aside our differences? Eric laughs. I shouldn't want you to think you're right, so I'll keep my sword sheathed for now. Eric's kind of a jerk. Let's head east. It doesn't look so steep that way. Two of them set off walking. Can I ask you a question? What's with that smile? Yes. What's a warrior like you doing on the island of the sea? I thought it was the woman who acted as shamans in all the northern clans. Eric stops, stares out to sea. Not for us. My father was our clan's shaman. He was killed during a raid at Samhain. I made a vow to take his place, to honor his memory. I'm sorry. You, clan of the bear, you're protected by the forest and other clans, like mine, whose land are closer to the ocean. It is us who suffer the raids of invaders from the sea. Those savages, they're no one. Eric turns to Freya. And you, what lead you to become a shaman? Are they all shamans? Even the carpenter and the tailor? My family was chosen to succeed Gudrid, our shaman. Ah, I see. That's the custom? Yes, in our clan, shaman selects the person who will succeed them. It is a great honor. I hope one day I'll be as good as a healer as Jennifer. But yeah, she is a healer, the medic. Gudrid doesn't have time to hesitate in the heart of herbalism. Eric bursts out laughing. What's this smug smile? Urgh. Think about that later. First, we have to survive the initiation. Did you see that storm? I got a feeling the Seers aren't going to make life easy for us. Seers are not the blue. Of course. I don't believe the Seers had anything to do with that storm. Still, weather changing at all at once. That's not natural. I don't know. There's no mention of that kind of test in the lore. And I don't believe that the Seers want to eliminate us, by giving us a real chance of passing the initiation. Still, you see all those wrecks on the beach. Freya stops at the foot of the cliff. Look, there's Eric squints. Yes, it looks like a path. What looked like a stair seemed to have delved into the rock and snake up the cliff's face. I think we found our way inland. But who could have built it? It must have been a colossal task. Eric shrugs. So we go back and tell the others. Eric and Freya turns back. When they arrive at the camp, the group is huddling around a small fire drying off. Brandon seems to have come around. Connor wants to speak, but he hesitates when Freya and Eric heading towards him. We found a path. There's a stair that climbs the length of the cliff. A stair? Oh, is that possible? I thought this island had always been uninhabited. And even if, I don't know who could have built such a thing. Hundreds of steps carved into the rock. All I know is there is a path, and I don't plan to take root here. Wait, I don't think it's wise to just charge ahead like that. Do the legends speak of there? I don't think so. I never read any mention of the scholar, I guess. But you're right, it wouldn't be a bad idea to put what we know together. What do we know about the trials ahead of us? Freya suddenly speaks, citing something she learned by heart. We must reach the top of the mountain, the center of this island. Along the path, we have trials to overcome. The Seers will give sacred flame to those who reach the summit. The sacred flame bestows the gift of second sight, of divination, and of healing to those who are worthy. After, we rejoin our respective clans as shamans. Freya lowers his eyes. Unfortunately, I know little more. My mentor prepared me as well as she could, but she never told me what happened on this island during her own initiation. The others are quiet. I have to admit, I can't add much more. Leaf, the shaman of my clan, is the only one who returned from his expedition. He never spoke of it either. Brandon gets up, limps a few steps. I don't want to die here. Someone told me if I... Brandon breaks off with a blank gaze. Reassure him. Here, buddy. Connor gets up, puts a hand on the carpenter's shoulders. There now. We're all in the same boat. Anyway, we're not going to leave you here all alone. With this wound, I'm going to slow you down a lot. I don't want to put the success of the whole group at risk. The injury isn't very deep. There's nothing broken. Everybody looks so smug. It's just me. Does this feel smug? Please let me know. This time tomorrow, you'll be walking normally. In the meantime, we'll find you a walking stick and you'll be able to keep up. Freya looks doubtful. You haven't seen the stairs. Really steep. With the rain, the steps are going to be slippery. It would take hours to get Brenda up that way. Freya, that was mean. Brenda looks hopeless. To everyone's relief, Arlen speaks up. While we're collecting wood, Connor and I found a boat. Boat? You mean something not a wreck? Yes, a bit further behind the rock. All looks sound, but the sail is torn. Maybe we could use it to go around the island. Seeing as no one heard of this stair, there has to be another way in, right? Are you sure this boat can go to sea? Sure? No, I couldn't say that. I believe Brandon is a carpenter. Brandon, you'll be able to tell if this boat is seaworthy, won't you? Yes, no problem. We've been carpenters for generations, father to son, in my family. I mean, I'm only the third son. I'm as capable as my elder brothers. I know of boats. I'm used to this kind of work. Perfect. In that case, let's go to this boat. That's off. When they arrive at the other craft, Brennan sets off to check conditions. Stoops under this hull and pulls a rope to check if it's sound. The others patiently wait while the carpenter checks everything. Well, there's a bit of damage to repair if we can get into the open sea, but it should hold up if we stay close to the coast. Brendan hesitates. What is it? What are you not telling us? Well, I know it's impossible, but I think this is... Well, I think it's our boat. Connor takes a few steps back to look at the craft, and its resemblance is striking. But our boat is over there. How can this be our boat? Brendan hobbles over to the prow and points to a rope. I don't know, but look. See the painter there? It's split along the lengths, just like ours. And there, on the forecastle deck, there are two matching boards with a heart-shaped sapwood. You can check, but I'm sure exactly the same on our craft. Duncan looks at the boat, fascinated. Arlen is dismayed. Eric looks serious. Brendan continues. That said, the good news is our sail is in perfect size, seeing as the boats are identical. Not worth the risk. If the boats are really identical, it might be the trick the Seers are playing on us. I think it would be wiser to take this there. I don't think we should consider that in our decision. Who's to say the Seers haven't given us a copy of our boat to help us? If we believe the legend, this type of strange phenomenon is going to happen more and more often as we get closer to the summit. But the stair still seems safer to me. It's a sure way to get inland. Nothing guarantees we'll find a better way by sea. I agree, Duncan. Besides, we should get going straight away. The longer we wait, the less distance we cover before nightfall. I think we all agree that we don't want to linger on this island. Easy, Duncan. Maybe you can ask everyone before taking a decision, don't you think? I trust Duncan. Jennifer is right. Everyone should be able to say what they think. Bear and Eric exchange glances. Eric shakes his head. I think it would be better to look for either way by sea. The stair look really dangerous. Thought to be a safer route. Plus, Brendan can come with us if we take the stair. That room, he'll slow us down a lot. And if you allow me to give my opinion, it doesn't bother me to say you give up on the trial. Listen, I think it's clear to everyone that I'm not really made to be a shaman. I promised my family to do my best, honor my clan, but still, I don't intend to die on this side. Leaving here with my share of the supplies, I'll get by just fine. Aw, that makes me feel bad now. What about you, Connor? What do you think? Connor is taken unaware. He's not used to people asking for his opinion. Yes? What? Sorry? Arlen and Freya wants to take the boat. Eric and Duncan wants to take the stair. Brendan's fine with us taking the stair and leaving him here with some supplies. As for me, I think it would be wiser to just find another way. It's up to you to decide, Connor. Connor hesitates. If he doesn't intervene, Eric will probably drive the group into it, even if it means abandoning Brandon. Connor? Am I Connor? Ah, damn it! I don't want to leave Brandon. Take the boat. Take the boat. I'm more inclined to take the boat. It would be a shame to abandon one of our own before we got an inland. Arlen, will you be able to get the sail from the other boat? Yes, no problem. Arlen loses no time and jogs to the red boat. She's glad to feel useful. Tell you the truth, all these stories are Seers and the sacred flame disturb her. She hoists herself onto the deck, takes off her shoes while she judges, at a glance, the height of the mast, and she squirms up to the cross tree. She's very acrobatic. She recalls the affectionate climbing races she had as a child, with her brothers and sisters. In the evenings, after supper, when the fishing boats return to port, and the night has not yet fallen. She straddles in the rigging. She unties the sail. The craft isn't very complicated, but helps the job. Beneath her, Brendan's recovering the bag was Tulo, slipped under the forecastle. Hey, Brendan! The young man looks up. Can you catch the sail? Yes, go on. Brendan grabs the corner, so the canvas isn't carried away by the breeze. Arlen unties the last knot and slides down the deck. Shall we fold it? The two fold the canvas and return to the group with the sail and the tool. As soon as they arrive at the other boat, Brendan sets to work repairing the weakest point in the hull. Brendan's wound seems more painful, but despite that, he doesn't seem much more in his element. It makes Arlen feel better. Not the only one to feel completely outmatched by these great warriors from the northern clans, who seem born to come to this island. The difference is that, unlike Brandon, she doesn't have the luxury of giving up the first obstacle. The well-being of her family depends on the success of her need. So everyone is becoming a shaman. I thought she was like the guide or something. Arlen realized she will need help to attach the sail. Alright, who's the sailor? He's a sailor. Who's strong? Duncan's a man. Freya's a warrior. And Connor. Who's Connor? What does he do? I'm gonna have warrior. Freya sits in rock, taking advantage of the deflection of her arrows. Hey, Freya. Freya looks up, and the contrast between the limpid beauty and the passive, almost glacial stare of the young woman strikes Arlen. What is it? Would you, Arlen cheeks redden. He hates that she's like this, always wearing her emotions on her sleeve. An open book. Will you help me set up the sail? Freya jumps to her feet. Yes, of course. What can I do to be useful? Tell me. Will you be able to climb up to the top of the mast? Of course, she's a warrior. That's why I picked her. Freya glances up the mast and nods with assurance. In that case, you can help me attach the sail at regular intervals around the rail. Watch, I'll show you how to do it. That fingers. Arlen makes a complex knot. You see? Freya nods and reproduces the knot. Like that? Yes! Say, you managed pretty well for a beginner. Oh, I'm used to it. We use knot system to put up our tents when we hunt further afield in the winter. Ah, right. But you should make a smaller loop, otherwise the sail won't hang right in the wind. It will bunch. Freya smiles. Okay, I got it. I'll go out first to take the torn sails down. You have to bring the head with you. Is that okay? Yes, no problem. Arlen gets to work. In no time at all, torn sail is on the ground. Freya joins her at the top of the mast, and one starboard, to hang the sail along the yardarm. Yardarm? She stands back to inspect her work. Brandon joins her. The sail okay? Yes, you're right. Our sail is the perfect size. And you? Were you able to repair the hull? I've done bare minimum, but she doesn't sink like a brick. But it will need a few days' work if you want to get back to the mainland with this boat. Eric approaches. All good? Can I get in the water? Arlen and Brandon agree. They went back to sea. This time, the waters are calm. A soft breeze off the sea fills the sail. The Undines, the spirit protector, decided this time to let them pass. They have rounded a cove toward the north, awaited at the Bay of Whales. A gentle, accommodating current carries the boat to me. They moor and prepare to go to the... Freya has barely jumped onto the beach when Duncan reaches out to the end of the creek. There's a path! The others run to join him, but Freya is fastened by the gigantic bones strewn across the sands of the bay. Some are scattered on the ground, others point toward the sky, like teeth. She finds it hard to believe that an animal of that size could exist. When she was small, the shaman of her clan had taken her on a pilgrimage to the mountains. In a painted cave, which traced the origins of her clan, there had been remains of a huge animal, but that was nothing in comparison. Gudrid had explained to her that it was a skeleton of a woolly elephant, a giant beast the ancestor hunted and revered at the dawn of time, but had vanished when the ice had retreated from the world. The clan had chosen a new totem. Freya feels a presence behind her. Looks like whale skeletons. Oh my god, I was wondering what it was. She turns, intrigued. Whales? Some kind of monster? Arlen laughs. Oh, they're not monsters. They're a type of sea animal. They're not aggressive. She has trouble picturing the animal. Kind of fish, perhaps? You see them in the open sea sometimes, in fall and spring. Arlen looks serious. I'm surprised to see so many stranded at the same place. They rarely come close to the coast, usually. You know, in my village, it's a sacred animal. It's forbidden to fish for them. In any case, to fish that you will need a really big hook, right? The two girls laughed. Arlen pointed at the big oblong bone lying further away from us. That though, that comes from a real sea monster. Yes, it's not a whalebone, Pat? No, I think it's a cuttlefish bone, but I've never seen one as big as that. The ones we catch are little, but this one must have been really massive. Arlen shows the size with her fingers. The cuttlefish. A bit of a squid, an octopus. These strange words don't convey much to Freya. How can I explain? A sort of fish with 8 tentacle-like arms, if you like, and it walks on its head. You see? Arlen tries to imitate the animal with limited success. Freya kens that the sea is surely full of mysteries, but it's delicious to eat. If we pass the initiation, you have to come see me in my village. I'll prepare you some, if you want. Well, sure, why not? Freya's about to accept the invitation when Duncan interrupts. Hey, are you coming? On our way. Come on, let's go. Otherwise, we'll get told off by the boss. Sure, let's make him the boss. He's a smart guy, right? Duncan seems to have things in his hand. I don't know about boss, but he seems to have things well in his hand. Yes, I'm glad he's taking the lead. Right, so Duncan's the boss. The scholar, right? I assume he's the one who's all the knowledge. The hunter and the fisher rejoins the group. We're about to take a pass, which winds along the cliff. Freya notices the slope is gentler on this side. The cliff's much lower. Nothing like the stairs she and Eric discovered earlier that day. Jennifer has re-bandaged the cut on Brandon's shin. The wound isn't bleeding anymore. It looks like it's starting to heal. It's going to be okay, Brandon. You get up. Brandon tries to stay cool, but it's clear he's suffering from Jennifer's probing. Ouch, yes! It should be okay. Was the walking stick lag behind too much? Because it's already closing, yes. I think you can walk. I'll stay with you. Help you. Duncan waves to the others to follow and sets off the path. Eric, the others follow him. Oh shit! Duncan and Connor disappear around the bend in the path. There's a stifled cry. The rest of the group hastens apace. Connor points up to the figure above the cliff. Freya looks up. There is a child at the entry of the heath. His small body, covered by a patterned tunic, is motionless. The face, hidden under an elaborately decorated wooden mat, conceals the intentions of this strange being. But most disturbing are the antlers that seem to grow from the creature's skull. The young group doesn't know how to react. The air feels storm-charged, as if a bolt of divine lightning could strike them at any moment. Connor looks terrified. The others seems transfixed by this unexpected presence. After a long moment, the child slowly turns and vanishes towards the inland. When they reach the top of the cliff, a desolate plain stretches before them, covered in high grass and heather. Further away in the mist, the summit can be seen. Suddenly, the wind rises, lifting the cloaks and hair. The sun disappears beneath a shroud of volatile colors. The antlered child is gone. Whoa, that was quick. Chapter 2. Winds. Why is the reflection different? They advance into Heathland. It's Heathland, right? Yeah. Beneath the incessant howling of the wind, I watch them from afar. Though the narrator is somebody else who's watching them, I assume he or she is the seer. The seers have stronger hold here inland. I must be careful that my presence isn't felt. Or, it might be the kid. Duncan and Eric led the convoy to fix a fast pace for the other members of the expedition. Arlen comes at the back. He hurriedly catch up with Jennifer. Jennifer? The healer turns toward Arlen. A benevolent smile lightens her. It awes Arlen and that Jennifer can be so kind without it undermining her determination. Is Arlen like one who makes friends with everyone? What we saw earlier, was it a seer? Yes, at least the legend described them like that. Have you never heard of the stories told about them? My father isn't from around here. He comes from the south. As for my mother, let's just say she didn't have time to pass all that down to me. Oh, I understand. You know what they want. Seers. No one really knows their intentions. They choose those who are worthy to receive the gifts, but we don't know or how or why. Jennifer reflects for a few moments. But why have you come to this island if you weren't prepared for the trials? I'm the eldest of a large family. I have to take care of my brothers and sisters. With Enid, healer from my village, died, I agreed to submit to the initiation to replace her. In exchange, all my village will ensure that my family lacks for nothing. Yes, I imagine it can't be easy, being the daughter of an outsider in a small village. A fleeting, bitter, yet resigned smile crosses Arlen's face. Enid was the only one not to regard us as strange beasts. She explained the rudiments to me, how to prepare a few ointments. And you? You're not a bit too old for... Oh, wow. You're not a bit too old for an initiation? Jennifer smiles. Oh, I'm not as old as all that. Arlen blushes at her blunder. Oh, sorry, give me. That's not what I meant to say. But you're right. I never imagined either that one day I would become a shaman. You're not a shaman yet. Really? But you seem to know so much. If you hadn't banded Brandon's legs, he wouldn't have been able to carry on with us. Oh, that wasn't much. And you must have a lot of questions, no? It doesn't bother you? You're sure? On the contrary, makes the walk less tedious. If the wind would drop a little, though. Ah, yes. Our ears will ache more than our legs if this keeps up. I'm listening. I tried to enlighten you. I may as well ask about the Seers, right? So, those children are really the Seers of the island? Yes. The island is kind of a door into the world of the Seers, you could say. In reality, the Seers are everywhere around us, in nature. The wind, the tides, even the storms and the flames. It's them that bring those about. Here, the boundary between the two worlds is especially thin, but we can see them. If we receive the sacred flame, we will be linked to them, with their magic. According to the legends, the Seers that we see on this island are the guardians who will only allow those worthy to reach. Guardians? Yet they don't seem very ferocious. Oh, don't trust their appearance. You do well to think of them with fear and deference that they deserve. They inspire my trust. I couldn't tell you why, but they inspire my trust. I think they know what they're doing. We can't compare them to ourselves. They must see the world very differently to how we do. Try putting yourself in their place. What would you do? A stranger came to your home and started eating your provisions. Arlen laughs. And yet, they need us. We need them. Oh yes? Why would they need us? They need shamans to guide men so that the balance of nature is kept in our world. We become the ambassadors with our people. They judge us worthy of the task. I hadn't seen it that way. And us, we need their magic and their wisdom. Control us? I don't think so. It's a win-win. Seems like a fair deal to me. Everybody wins. Smug face. I don't know. We reached the end of the trials. Maybe we'll understand their aims better. Oh, so she doesn't like the Seers? I don't know if we have to undergo trials to reach the summit of the island. But no one seems to know what's really waiting for us. I don't know much either. Shamans who survived the initiation will speak of what happened on the island. But if the shaman chooses you as a successor, they should prepare you the best that you can. Seems a bit strange they don't share the experience on the island with their disciples, don't you think? I have a feeling everyone dies except one and the last one becomes a Seer. But that's way too dark for this game. We haven't had a mentor, you and I. But if you ask Freya or Duncan, for example, they'll tell you what their mentor prepared them for the trial. Was that telling them what awaits them, really? Jennifer thinks. I can see two possible reasons. Either explaining the substance of the trial won't be of any help in succeeding, or it's taboo. Maybe the Seers have forbidden them to speak of it. I imagine the trial would be different for each of us. Oh, let me say that. For example, look at Connor and Eric. What constitutes a trial for Connor, or a trifle for Eric, vice versa? In any case, we'll know soon enough. Something else? Here's learn more from Jennifer. That's a funny name, Jennifer. You know, I hadn't even planned to become a shaman. No, that's right. I've only been preparing my initiation for 2 years. 2 years? Oh, when you come to the island? The shadow of buried pain flits across Jennifer's face. You could say that a curse devastated my village. Everything went bad to worse, and I felt powerless. I swore to myself that I would do what I could to never find myself in that situation again. I studied herbalism and the healing crafts. I soon knew that if I wanted to see this through, I had to complete my initiation. That's how I found myself here, with you. A little older, certainly, than most of the people who come to the island. Arlen would have liked to know more, but Jennifer doesn't seem to want to pursue the topic. I don't want to ask. Let's ask. Why not? Something terrible must have happened for you to risk your life on the island. Jennifer hesitates to elaborate. Finally, she replies quickly. I had a farm in the uplands with my husband. Oh, it wasn't much. A cabin, a small flock of sheep, 20 or so animals. We made cheeses, sold them at the market. That year, we had a terrible winter. 2 years ago, there were squabbles with a shaman, and she left the village. We began with harvests which were poor. We had enough to get by, but some of the granaries were wet and the stores rotted. Everyone had to be rationed. Then a fever fell on the village, and he died. Jennifer breaks off. Arlen had a feeling she hadn't told everything. It hasn't the heart to ask for more. You mind if we talk about something else? Members of the expedition. What do you think of our group? Our group? How should I put it? Everyone seems nice enough in themselves. Jennifer seems to be looking for the right words. That said, I'm afraid some of us aren't really ready for what awaits them. Arlen? Clear that Brandon doesn't seem to really know why he was here. Yes, in fact, I'm a bit concerned that he's staying with us. But I wasn't thinking of him in particular. Connor and Duncan. Is Connor again? Connor's that guy with a long face, right? Think of Connor? Sure, he's from the city, he doesn't know our custom. I expect Connor may surprise us all. I think that boy's a lot more resourceful than he wants us to know. In that case, I don't see Frey and Eric come from the north. I can't see them failing. Well, to be honest, in fact, I was thinking of Eric. Really? Eric? But he seems to really know what he's doing. Yes, but he's eaten up by anger and thirst for revenge. It's a volatile mix. Yes, you're right. Probably wouldn't take a lot to send him off. I'm hoping I'm wrong. Even if Jennifer breaks out looking unsettled. I'm sorry. I just kinda had a deja vu. I had a name in the tip of my tongue, as if it were someone missing from the expedition. It happened a few times since we arrived at the island. Haven't? Arlen thinks. No, I don't think so, but I felt we were being watched since we set foot on the beach. Of course, it might have been the Seers on the island. Yes, me. I noticed you passed some time with Freya. What do you think of her? Admit, I find her hard to pin down. She's not really intimidating. She's a pretty nice person. I think she's lovely. She's lovely. I think she's someone reliable and trustworthy. Yeah, everyone here seems to be pretty nice. Well, seem to get on well, the two of you. Two young women continue in silence. The sun began to descend towards twilight. Jennifer pulls a pouch, made from a knotted rag, from her sack, and takes out a biscuit which she offers to Arlen, and takes out another for herself. Arlen accepts gratefully. He noticed that the mineral scent from the ocean had lessened, despite the constant gusts. Far off, a forest can be seen, climbing along the foothills of the summit. He wonders if they will reach the outskirts before night. Trees will provide some shelter from the wind. At the head of the line, Duncan tries to keep up a fast pace with the far-off forest in his line of sight. There is no real path to show him exactly what route to take, but the heath is strewed with megaliths which seems to mark the way. He's not sure, but he thinks his Uncle Leith mentioned this in an air moment one evening. Oh god, Lonastad. Lugnasad, when Duncan had taken advantage of the inebriation to ask him about the island. The way weeds from standing stone to standing stone. Whether he's right or not, it seems to make him much wiser to trust these markers, which perhaps guard them against invisible dangers, and to take the more direct route towards the forest. In living memory, the island had always been wild, uninhabited, only visited time to time by expeditions of novices who come to seek the approval of Seers and complete the magical initiation. Duncan reaches the megalith, which he passes on the left, as tradition dictates. That's a cool looking megalith there. On this one, if he squints, you can distinguish interlacing curves, half erased by the wind and rain. Duncan supposed that these engravings must probably tell a story, or at least reveal more about the makers of these edifices. The legends do not tell of the Seers as builders, or even less, as being able to or wanting to raise monuments in the kingdom of men. The only explanation would be that in times past, the island was inhabited by a permanent population, a big one considering the size of this work. Without mentioning that stair up the cliffside that Eric and Freya had found. A kind of catastrophe that had made the creator of the standing stones vanish. Behind him, he heard Freya call out, "Duncan!" Stops and turns. Freya jogs up to catch. Eric is following close behind him, but they are well ahead of the rest of the group. "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize we were leaving the others behind." No, it's not that. Look! Freya points over to the right. The stones thrown away are two of the antlered children, one of them beckoning the group to come closer. Yes, I see them. I think they're signaling us to follow them. Yes, but then we had to leave the path of the Cairns. Cairns? Yes, the megaliths. I noticed you were guiding the group from standing stone to standing stone. Did your mentor speak of them to you too? Not really. He mentioned them vaguely. It came back to me when I saw them. But it seemed logical to me to use them as landmarks to get to the forest. Oh, I thought you knew. Gudrid, the shaman of my clan, warned me about the megalith. Meaning? Told me that we must not deviate. I believe something happened to her expedition when they tried to leave the path. Duncan studies Freya. Oh, yes, your mentor spoke of them to your island. Of course not. You know that's forbidden, but occasionally from time to time. Some information will slip out. Exactly. That said, if a seer asks us to follow him, surely it would be better to listen, don't you think? Eric overtakes them without stopping. Hey, lovebirds, we're not here for Dot. Stop that smug smile. Wait, Eric, did you see? It's this time, it's Duncan who points towards the seer. Yes, they are the Seers. They've been waiting us for a while. Can you notice? Freya looks ruffled, as if her pride had been wounded. I confess, I was looking straight ahead. I was careless. Never mind. It's only to be expected that a woman wouldn't be a good tracker. Oh my god. Duncan wondered whether he should point out that Freya was shown the antler children, but Eric didn't allow him at the time. Whatever. We should follow the megaliths. Seers are clearly trying to lead us astray. I think I'm gonna agree with Eric. Freya, her voice is like ice, enunciating each syllable, does not see things the same way. No, I believe we should trust the Seers. We should follow them. Eric puts a menacing hand to the weapon. Duncan must sell this fast before this disagreement extends to the fist fight. Well, something bad happened when they left the cairns, right? But we should follow tradition. Right? Eric's right. It's wiser to follow the cairns. Can't be sure what the seer want of us. In any case, no woman's going to dictate what I should do. Freya looks livid with anger. I don't care how you treat the woman in your clan, but you will not disrespect me. Eric draws his weapon. I treat women the way they deserve. It's not my problem if the men of your clan let themselves be walked all over. Connor joins them. What's going on? He looks amused, a faint smile on his lips. We leave you alone for 2 minutes and... Eric turns sharply and knocks Connor to the ground with the back of his hand. Hey, you stay out of it. It's not some city boy who's going to give me lessons. Connor looks terrified. Jennifer and Arlen joins the group running. Brennan speeds up, despite his wound, to catch up with the group. Healer steps between Eric and Connor. No, that's enough. Are you trying to kill each other? What's the problem? We saw our seer signaling us to follow him. Duncan glances at the direction of the Seers who have vanished in the meantime. Freya suggested we follow them. Eric wanted to keep us following the megalith. And you, Duncan? What do you think? I think we should follow the megalith. 3 of you are the most seasoned guides. One objects. I think I will follow the majority. Everyone agrees. So be it. I can defer to a reasonable argument like some. Eric goes to open his mouth, and he thinks better of it after glancing over at Jennifer. The group gets moving again. Duncan and Connor return to head of the line, guiding the rest of the expedition, one megalith to the next. They move towards difficulty, the constant wind blowing in their ears, slowing their progress. They pass the circle of standing stones on the right. Duncan stops to look, with visible curiosity. What's that? It's a cromlech, a stone circle. Our ancestors used them as calendars to track the position of the stars, the moon, and the sun. Duncan indicates the dolmen in the circle's circumference. See that? That's the east door. Its place of the sun rises exactly within its frame on the day of Litha, when we watch from the center of the circle. That's a word for a simple sundial, isn't it? Duncan scowls. No, this isn't a simple sundial. This is a ceremonial edifice which allows us to be in harmony with nature and the entire universe during the ceremonies. I suppose you lot in the city prefer you to shut yourself up in temple, nice and warm, world protected from the sun. Two enter a heated debate as they continue their walk. After a while, I look up and notice that the forest seems no closer. Further on the right, there is a stone circle. Duncan is delivering a long diatribe of the supposed superiority of Polynesianism. He realizes that Connor has stopped listening. Hey, you're not listening. Haven't we already come this way? Duncan suddenly noticed the empty cromlech. He turns to check the distance they have covered. But how is this possible? It's as though we've been walking in the spot this whole time. I don't know. Well, one thing's sure. The sun has been walking this spot. Yes, we should make camp. A pity. I'd like to reach the forest before nightfall. We should follow the gears. But we screwed up. We're all tired. With all that crossing, the storm, and the walk. Things will be clearer in the morning. Night has fallen on them. The heat's now providing a glut of dry wood. Arlen and Duncan had made a modest fire on the site of the other older campfire, following the remains of the previous. Connor stretches his tire legs. His tire leg. It's the first time he truly sleeps beneath the stars. Of course, he has slept under porches or in alleys, for the temple took him in. But never like this. It was a star-filled sky, like a jewel-encrusted orb, stretching from one end of the horizon to the other. The rest of the group seems just as weary, munching silently on the loaf of bread and the cheese they have shared out. The provisions they have brought will not hold out for long. They will have to find sustenance on the island quickly. Arlen had finished a meal, and she pulls out a small wooden flute from her bag. The other members of the expedition, who are conversing in low voices or eating in silence, stop what they are doing to listen to a melancholic air which emerges from the instrument. The melody is childlike, innocent, and Connor thinks it must be a lullaby or a nursery rhyme. He has never heard anything like it before. The music of the temple is thunderous and righteous. As for the dances that could be heard in the sitting taverns, they definitely didn't have the gentle, nostalgic tonality, the lament that comes from Arlen's flute. Arlen closes her eyes as she plays, half possessed by a state of spiritual reverie. As the last note of the melody floats up into the night, Arlen realizes that everyone is watching her in silence. Blushes. Oh, sorry, I don't want to interrupt your conversations. Brandon gives her a curious look. It's amazing. We come from the same region, yet I don't know that long. Where did you learn it? My father taught it to me. It comes from the south. It's natural that you wouldn't know the tune. When he's away on the road, I play for my brothers and sisters. It's a nice song, you should compliment her. In any case, you play very well. You're just as good as troubadours in the capital. What the heck's a troubadour? Alan gives a hint of an embarrassed smile. Thank you. Jennifer smiles. Can you play another? It has such a calming sound. It helps me to think. After everything that happened today, I need to organize my thoughts. There's something. Jennifer turns to the group. I don't know, but I have this sensation of having a word at the tip of my tongue, without being able to find it. Some agree. Others look like Jennifer was surprised. Eric lied down, turning his back to the fire, grumbling that it would be better to gather their strength, that it wouldn't stop him from sleeping, but still. Arlen resumed playing. Connor listens with a distracted ear, before noticing that Jennifer is staring at the flames with strange intensity. For a long while, the group allows themselves to be lulled by the enthralling and mysterious note of Arlen's flute. Then, she opens the eyes and stops playing. Jennifer continues to stare at the fire, which has inexplicably become fiercer. She turns the eye towards its darkness, towards the emptiness of the heathland. She turns to Duncan. Be cautious of the whispers in the night. Are you sure you are the master of your choices? Duncan doesn't know how to react. Jennifer, are you alright? Jennifer stares into the night. You are not worthy of the flame. The knot may tie and untie. You will change nothing. Accept your destiny. Let us leave. Connor leaves Jennifer for the arm and shakes her gently. Jennifer? She's confused for a moment, then she smiles. Yes? Who are you talking to? Me? No one. I was just listening to Arlen. Thank you, Arlen. That was wonderful. You don't remember? Jennifer's astonishment yields to concern. Don't remember what? Connor turns to the other, hoping that someone knows what to do. The others look as lost as him. Insist? There's something about not in the flame. Don't you remember? No, really, I'm sorry. It must be the strain. We're all tired, but I'm the only one a bit shaken up by what's happened today. Some of you have been prepared for this journey on the island. I know that I come from the city, which you haven't hesitated to point out. Some more than others. Connor glances at Eric, who seems to have fallen asleep in the meantime. Listen, Connor. Maybe we've been a little better prepared to become shamans, but we don't know any more than you. What happens on the island is taboo. Our predecessors weren't permitted to speak of it, just as we will be forbidden. Well, the ones who managed to reach the summit to receive flames. I suppose everything will become clear at some point. But in the meantime, we must trust the Seers. I don't trust the Seers anymore. Not as we have any choice. Freya's right. Better get some rest. Won't find the answer by staying up all night. Jennifer lies down by the fire and closes her eyes. The others do the same. Connor contemplates the flames for a moment. The strange world, peopled with Seers, cairns, and sea monsters, is a long way from the daily life of the temple. The wild expanses of the island almost frighten him after so many years cloistered in his cell, days punctuated by the inexorable ring of the temple bells. He still doesn't understand why he has been sent here. Does he truly have a mission to accomplish? A vital role to strengthen the supremacy of the temple? Or was he simply sent here because the secular authority didn't know what to do with him? Connor shrugs himself. Then he curls up close to the fire, trying, like the others, to get some sleep. I watch the flames become embers. I hid to avoid encountering the Seers who roam the heath of the small hours of the night. I am not yet ready. When they drew near the expedition, taking advantage of the human torpor, I returned to the beach of Wales. Here, in the confines of my domain, I am almost transparent, like the sylph stripped of its wings. But the moon's reflection on the ocean waves, the salt fragrant rare so vivid in my memory, act on my weariness like a promise of renewed freedom. When I am sure the Seers have finished their inspection of the flesh, I return to the heath to watch over my potential savior. Jennifer is missing. The Seers must have seized her and separated her from the group. Far away in the burnished gloom which precedes the sunrise, I glimpse her heading towards the stone circle. Who do I wake up? Duncan? Duncan's the boss, right? Wolves and snow fill Duncan's dream. He struggles against an indistinct persecutor, his brow beaded with icy sweat. With a ghostly caress, I command him to leave the darkness within, surface from the subterranean realm. He opens his eyes in panic. The other groups slumber on. Then he notices Jennifer's absence. He leaps to his feet and runs towards the cromlech. He knows that he hasn't much time if he wants to catch her before it's too late. How does he know? He is unsure, but this doesn't crush his determination to act. I follow him, forgetting my prudence. Now, we are close to the cromlech. I still don't know what a cromlech. Oh, That stone circle, right? The air smells of thunder. Jennifer is at the center of the circle, heading towards the antlered children. Time to meet her from the other side. It's too late. All must pass, will pass. Duncan cries out, trying to draw the young woman's attention, but she's deaf to his calls. He hesitates for a moment and passes the boundary to the cromlech. Jennifer has reached the children. He stretches her hand towards them. There's a bright flash, then emptiness. Jennifer and the Seers vanished. Duncan feels a presence behind him. My presence. Turns. Sees me. In a fraction of a second, when time seems to stand still, everything is clear. Lucid. He opens his mouth to say something. The waves of magic broken on the boundaries of the cromlech and ebbs towards its source. Tinker was at the inside of what has been, of what will be. I am invisible again. Duncan returns to the camp, heart unexpectedly heavy. When he reaches the bivouac, the group is agitated. Freya is woken by a hand on her shoulder. She opens her eyes, disoriented. It takes a few moments in the in-between state, waking and sleep. Images of ice blue eyes, brown hair, dear ancestors dance before her eyes. Duncan's crouching next to her, worried. What's the matter? Jennifer, she's vanished. Freya is now wide awake. Jennifer? But what happened? The group is bustling. Everyone is packing their possessions while Arlen disperses remnants of the fire. Freya is rather ashamed that all the commotion has woken her. Duncan brings her up to date with the events of the night. Jennifer's disappearance, the Seers, the young woman glimpsed in the cromlech. I told you we couldn't trust the Seers. I'm sure they'll do everything they can to split us up and make us vanish, one after the other. I've always been taught that we must trust the Seers, that they are here to guide us, that even if their goals may be incomprehensible to common mortals, to be trusted. Duncan lowers his eyes, pensive. I don't know what they think anymore. How can we trust them if we're going to abduct members of the expedition? Connor looks nervous, torn by doubt. Whatever the case, we must continue. I don't think it's of any use to wait for Jennifer to come back. Arlen points to the bag that Jennifer had left behind. What do we do with her things? I think we should at least share our supplies. Arlen nods and begins to empty Jennifer's bag. They each come forward in turn to take the cloth containing dried fruits, bread, or dried meat. At the bottom of the bag, Arlen finds a bone comb, firestone that hesitates before withdrawing a rag doll. Jennifer has children? Talked together yesterday during the walk. Didn't speak of children. She's married. Spoke of a plague who struck down her village. Maybe she kept this doll as a memento. Perhaps, or maybe her daughter asked her to take it with her. Lucky charm. My little sister wanted me to take a little wooden horse, a favorite toy, when I left my village. Eric shows signs of impatience. Well, we shared all the supply. We should get moving again. Connor is about to make a remark, but changes his mind. Right. What do you do about the other things? Take the doll. What the hell, man? Freya sighs. I'll take her things. You never know. If we find Jennifer, she'll be happy that we kept them. If she brought this doll with her, it must be important to her. I agree. Are you sure? I don't mind taking it with me. I'll take it. Yes. I'm carrying less than you. I really don't mind. Very well. Arlen gives Jennifer's few belongings to Freya, who puts it in her pouch. The group begins gathering its belongings and get underway. Freya glances behind her, to the cromlech. In the space of an instant, she glimpses something, like a silhouette, disappearing behind the stones. A seer? She shrugs, then hurries to catch up the end of the line.